come tour this adorable little bungalow with me in one of Madison's super walkable neighborhoods, which is Eken Park. This is 2625 East Lawn Court. It's currently listed for $325,000 by Ryan Robinson with eXp Realty. I'm with Real Broker, so I want to make it clear that I am not the listing agent on this property, but I would be representing you as a buyer if you're interested in this property. Hi, my name is Hannah Garcia. I'm a realtor licensed in Wisconsin and Illinois, and this is my channel, Heartland Homes with Hannah. I was also recently selected for the Realtors Association of South Central Wisconsin's inaugural class of 40 under 40, which recognizes rising leaders in the real estate industry. So if you're thinking about selling your home and want to work with a rising leader in real estate, check the link in the description to set up a free consultation with me. Also in the description will be a link to the announcement that the association I belong to published. This is a 2-bedroom bungalow with 728 finished square feet. Immediately after entering the front door is the living room, and right away you get some of that older home character. You've got the original oak hardwood floors, these arched openings between the rooms, and a good amount of natural light coming through the front of the house. The living room isn't huge, but there's enough room to create a comfortable seating area without completely filling the space. Right off the living room, we have the main full bathroom. This bathroom has been updated, and one detail that was a little hard to capture on camera is how deep this bathtub is. And if you're someone who appreciates a good bath as much as I do, then you'd probably appreciate this bathtub too. Another standout feature of this bathroom is you have a built-in linen closet, and it has a little pull-out mirror, which I just love. Then directly across from the bathroom is the first bedroom. It's currently staged as a home office, which I think works really well in here. Obviously, you can use it as a bedroom too, but if you work from home and wanted somewhere separate from your living room to put a desk, you've got that option with this room. And interestingly, this room seems a little bit bigger than the bedroom they currently have as the primary, so you could very easily switch those around depending on how you wanted to use the house. Right next door is the current primary bedroom. Again, we're working with 728 square foot, so neither bedroom is going to be enormous, but you do have 2 fully separate bedrooms. And while we're in here, let's run some numbers for a second. I think it's super important to break down the purchase price into easier to understand numbers. I think it's helpful to get a rough idea of what buying a home at this price could look like in terms of what your down payment might be and the month-to-month cost. So let's run some numbers. At the full $325,000 asking price, if you were to put a 5% down payment, that would cost you about $16,250, and that's before closing costs. Now, before I give you a monthly payment number, that is going to depend heavily on a lot of different factors. Factors like your loan program, your credit, your interest rate, property taxes, homeowner's insurance, mortgage insurance, and ultimately what you end up paying for the house. Because I gave you a 5% down payment estimate, maybe you put 3% down, or maybe you put a higher amount down. Obviously, those things are going to change what your monthly payment comes out to be, but again, I want to give you a rough estimate. And of course, these are all things that a mortgage loan officer can answer much more in detail, any questions that you might have regarding payment, and they can also run the numbers for your specific financials. And if you don't already have a lender that you're working with, I can absolutely help you get connected with one. Now, with that disclaimer out of the way, let's look at what a monthly payment might be in this home. So if we're going to use a 30-year mortgage, around 6.7% with 5% down, your principal and interest would probably be around $1,990 a month. When people talk about a mortgage payment though, principal and interest are only part of the picture. There's also taxes and insurance that need to be factored into this as well. So the property taxes on this home are about $5,400 a year, which roughly works out to $450 a month. So we need to add that to our principal and interest. Because we're using a 5% down payment example here, you'd have to also factor in private mortgage insurance to your monthly payment number. In private mortgage insurance, you'll also hear it referred to as PMI because we love a good acronym. But anyways, using a very rough estimate for the PMI, you could be paying anywhere from around $2,650 to $2,700 a month for your entire mortgage payment. So again, we reach that number by adding your principal, your interest, your taxes, and your private mortgage insurance. Again, this is not a guarantee. This is just to give you a rough idea what the monthly cost of purchasing this home could be. And just remember, all of these numbers are based on the full $325,000 asking price, calculated based on putting 5% down as your down payment at an interest rate of 6.7%. For a more in-depth conversation about this house or buying a home in general, I highly encourage you to schedule a consultation with me, and a link to do so will be in the description. Even if you don't feel quite ready to buy something, it's never too early to start the conversation with a real estate professional like myself as an agent or a loan officer like I mentioned earlier. And I highly encourage you to do so sooner rather than later, because chances are you're probably way closer to being able to purchase a house than you might be giving yourself credit for. All right, now let's get back into talking about the house. Now, after heading back through the living living room, we get into the kitchen. And this kitchen has probably one of my favorite weird little details in this whole house, but the stove and the oven have this really fun like retro setup where the stove is built directly into the countertop and the oven is completely separate and built into the cabinetry. I definitely don't see kitchens like this very often, and I think it gives a lot of personality to this kitchen. You have your main work area along the countertops, you've got upper and lower cabinets for storage, and because the kitchen sits towards the back of the house, it leads you directly outside. So right off this kitchen, you have the door to the patio. Now, let me tell you, if I lived here, this patio is probably where I would spend most of my time. Pretty much any time of the year that would be warm enough to be out here, I definitely would be. Having this much outdoor space really does make a huge difference. At least I think so. You're not limited to the just over 700 finished square feet that you have inside the house, but you have this entire oasis out here. And you've also got a decent sized backyard beyond just the patio. All right, let's head down to the basement. The basement is completely unfinished right now, but I think that just gives you room and opportunity to add value to the home if you chose to purchase this property. There's quite a bit more space that you can work with down here. Right now, this can be somewhere where you store tools, it can be a makeshift workshop, or whatever else makes sense for whatever hobbies you have. You've also got the laundry down here, and there's even a laundry chute from upstairs, which again is one of those little old house features that I wish more houses still had. All right, we also need to talk about the second bathroom. The property is listed as having 1.5 bathrooms, but I want you to see what that means before you picture a fully finished other half bathroom. There is a toilet and sink roughed in down here, and assuming everything is functioning, this is where your half bathroom is. But they are sitting in an unfinished basement. So this is not your finished powder room with drywall flooring and a cute little mirror over the sink. It's a toilet and a sink in the basement. That said, if you already had thoughts about finishing some of this basement space, having plumbing down here can become super useful. And clearly there's a ton of potential for you to add value to this home by finishing it out. And of course, I'm not going to tell you that you automatically can turn every foot down here into finished living space, because before doing that, you'd want to look at some other factors, but again, the potential is there. And those are all things we investigate, of course, if you were interested in this property. Now that we've gone through the house, I want to show you the other part of this property that is a standout feature, and that's the walkability to tons of local businesses and essentials, because there's a lot within walking distance of this house. And I don't only mean there's a restaurant somewhere vaguely nearby. I mean, this is pretty much the definition of a walkable neighborhood. Some of the closest businesses are Christine Sandwiches, the Bubbling Teapot, and you can get to them with just a few minutes on foot from the house. And across the street from those two establishments, there's Dexter's Pub. So right off the bat, you've already got places to grab food or go out without having to get into a car. But what I like about the walkability here is that it's not just limited to restaurants and bars. Walkability means a lot more to me when some of the boring things that you may need in your everyday life are also very close nearby. So you've also got a Walgreens, which is right across East Washington. So you've got a pharmacy and somewhere to grab basic household items. There's also a UW Health Urgent Care, again, right across East Washington. You've got some more places to get coffee. My favorite, of course, being Mocha, which has bonus points for being a drive-thru. And this Mocha specifically fuels my entire high school existence. You've also got tons of places you can grab a quick bite to eat, like Papa John's and Little Caesars, both pizza, but you've seriously got so many restaurants in this radius of like 5-minute walking distance from the house that it would take us a while to get through all of them. But aside from the food, there's a U-Break iFix. If your phone decides to ruin your day, or if your screen has been cracked for the longest, you can get that fixed at U-Break iFix. And there's quite a few other businesses scattered through this neighborhood that you can get to without traveling very far. As we keep moving through the neighborhood, you get to North and Commercial. This is one of the main little commercial pockets in Eken Park, and there's several neighborhood businesses clustered right around this intersection. You've got Ogden's North Street Diner, and across from that, you've got Tip Top Tavern. And there's North Street, which has several businesses concentrated into one spot, all grouped within a super small radius. So you've got your coffee, your food, your drinks, places to meet people, and different local businesses all grouped within a relatively small area. That concentration is what makes this neighborhood so walkable. You don't have to walk 20 minutes in completely opposite directions every time you want to go out and do something or grab a bite to eat, and there's multiple destinations clustered together pretty much in every direction that you go. If we head back towards the if from North Street you head back to East Washington, you've also got access to all of the buses. So even if a place that you're going isn't within walking distance, you have a really easy other mode of transportation nearby. If we go a little farther south down to First Street, we have the new Madison Public Market at First and East Johnson. The full grand opening for the Madison Public Market has been delayed a few times, so I'm not going to pretend like everything is completely up and running as I'm filming this, but it will be very soon, allegedly. But this new Madison Public Market is designed to bring local food vendors, makers, merchants, events, and tons of community programming together all in one space. And once it's fully operating, that gives another major destination super close to this house. So when I tell you Eken Park is a incredibly walkable neighborhood, this is what I mean. You have places to eat, you have coffee, you have a pharmacy, you have healthcare nearby, and you have access to everyday services like the bus line and public transport. And you have access to everyday services and public transportation. You've also got great neighborhood gathering places like the park that gives this neighborhood its name, Eken Park. And you still come back home to a residential street that feels completely removed from all of that commercial activity. Another thing to highlight about Eken Park is every year Eken Park has an art walk that brings together artists and artisans of all different kinds to vend in an amazing community event. It literally spans the entire neighborhood and the entire neighborhood next to Eken Park. It's the Eken Emerson Art Walk, and I love this event. Of course, I may be a little biased about how awesome this event is because I've vended in it as an artist every year that they have had it. Shout out to the Bubbling Teapot for hosting me for all of the art walks that Eken Park has had. So I think that gives you a pretty good idea of what living in this house that's situated in this part of Madison's Eken Park could really be like if you lived there. Between the house itself and everything you have around you, there's a lot here, and I absolutely think it's worth seeing in person. So if this property caught your attention, I'd be more than happy to take you through it and help you decide whether it makes sense for you and what you're looking for. As I mentioned at the beginning, this home is listed by Ryan Robinson with eXp Realty, and I'm with Real Broker, so I would be representing you on the buyer side. And if you're watching this thinking, I like this, but I don't think I'm quite ready to buy something yet, then I want you to know that you don't have to wait until you feel completely ready to start asking questions. It's never too early to start the conversation, and getting in touch earlier gives us time to figure out where you are now and what would need to happen for you to become ready when the right house comes along. And as I mentioned earlier, you might be closer than you realize to being able to purchase something for yourself. And if financing is a piece that you're unsure about, I'd be more than happy to get you connected with a mortgage loan officer who can go through your specific numbers with you. So whether you want to schedule a private showing of this house, or you just want to start talking about what it would take to buy a home in the Madison area, the link to book a consultation with me is in the description, and of course, it is always free to book a consultation. If you enjoyed this tour, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn your notifications on so you never miss a video from me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.